that's what everybody kept saying to me. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Into real estate, you're an entrepreneur, you want to travel, you want to go back to school, you need some stability, you need healthcare, life insurance, dental vision, travel again, you got some kids. Oh, they love kids, they love family, they love husbands, they love wives. Like, I met celebrities, I've seen Sierra, I've seen, what's the man, oh, Too Short. I haven't really enjoyed my 4 years in the Navy. We just gonna dive in. We're not gonna really waste no time. Like, it is, but all in all, I am grateful. I am so grateful. You guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, and I'm back with another freaking video. We just gonna get right into it. So as most of you guys do know that I am active duty enlisted. I am in the United States Navy. Y'all, I had the hiccups real bad. I don't know if most of y'all know that or not, because I don't really like to talk about it too much. I don't really be in uniform. Like, I try not to be in uniform on camera and stuff like that. I don't even bring my uniform home sometimes. Sometimes I leave it in the car. Like, it's just a very low-key thing for me. I really try not to talk about it. But granted, like, if you came to my channel, you gravitated probably because of my Navy videos. And some of y'all probably wondering if I was going to do more, where I've been at. Well, here I am. It's your girl. I'm going to get out of this uniform real quick, but because I already took a shower and everything, I just wanted to show y'all, come on camera so y'all can see. I had some people like reach out to me and ask me about life as a PR, questions about the Navy and things like that. And I've done my best trying to like talk to them through like social media and comments and stuff like that. And I've been waiting for 4 years to do this video, and I just didn't know how I wanted to do it and what I wanted to say. So yeah, I might even edit out the fact that I said that who I was. But we're gonna get into this video. I'm gonna change real quick and we're gonna talk about it. Okay, let's see what that looks like real quick. Okay, so I changed my shirt, but now I gotta see what this lighting looking like, because I adjusted the light, make it a little bit closer, so we're gonna see. Okay, so I had to do some adjusting because I looked at the video and the glare from my lights, or not, the glare from the light was in my glasses, and I don't know. But my hair looked real cute today, but the lighting is not good. I'm actually sitting in like my lounge area. It's not the living room, or sorry, like the den, like where you sit to watch TV. This is supposed to be my pole dancing area, but I didn't order my pole because so when I moved in or whatever, I only was here for like 2 months, and then I went on deployment. And basically that just means that I went out of the country with the military. So I didn't really get a chance to furnish completely. And then I was gone for like 6-7 months or whatever. And then by the time I came back, I only had 4 months left here. But I have a decent amount of stuff in here, but I'm getting ready to move again in a month. So yeah, I love that for me. But yeah, I was only living here for about, I think, yeah, about 2.5 months or so, almost 3, and then but anyway, so hopefully the lighting is good. We're gonna get into it. So I joined the Navy in 2020. I don't even know, but it's been a few years, 4 years or whatever. I think it was like 2020, 2021. 2020 it was during COVID times, and I actually wanted to join the military. I wanted to go enlisted back when I was in high school, my senior year of high school. So when I first started high school, I was doing like the little police academy thing. Where I'm from, my high school did like a lot of like extracurricular and like cultivating like job field type like classes. So they did like early childhood for like child development and stuff like that. They did all that regular stuff, but then they also had like culinary classes, police academy, where basically you had to wear the police uniform, and they kind of teach you certain like basics about being a police officer and things like that. And it was a class. We would do like little like, I don't know, stuff about it, like we'll watch case scenarios and stuff like that. My family, my aunt really wanted me to be a police, so she actually enrolled me into, we had a friend in the family who was a cop. She enrolled me into this like police academy program, so I would go and basically shoot guns and like clear houses, and it was fun. I was like, you know what, I could do this, but I don't want to be no fed. Like, we're not going to be no cop. Like, we just not doing it. I don't want to be a police. And I tried to get out of my classes because it was like for me, I had to stay in that like academy or whatever for like the next few years. Y'all, my shirt is on backwards. This is ghetto. I gotta go change. Okay, so that looked a little bit better. My hair is giving thirsty and crusty on this camera, and I was cute today at work. And I never be cute at work because basically I haven't really enjoyed my 4 years in the Navy. We just gonna dive in. We're not gonna really waste no time. I haven't really I have enjoyed it, but I feel like the good times and the bad, I feel like the bad times to me kind of outweighed the good a little bit. It was a lot of fun. I have had a really like fun experience, I think, in the last 4 years. Now, when I first started, I didn't have no fun. Like I wasn't saying I was having fun. People would ask me, how you like it? How you like it? Grant, I don't like it. These people trifling, they shady. But as the time goes by, and it's like you start out at the bottom. So I feel like I was starting out as like a peasant. Now I'm like a peasant because basically you have to move up in the ranks. You start out at the bottom, like the lowest thing, like no rank, no nothing. Like, baby, you ain't nobody. Nobody is you. Okay, you just the last name and then U.S. Navy on the other side, and that's on what? Period. But that's it. But I never really knew anything about the military, you know. Like when I was in high school, I seen people doing ROTC, and I wanted to do it. I thought like it was just the Army. I didn't know that the military was so big, and there were so many branches, and there's so much you can do, so many different jobs. It's like it's literally a whole nother world. It's like its own entity, its own thing, and it's like I was so like blind, like I was so naive, like I really didn't know. Like I was dumbfounded when I joined because there was so much more and I really didn't know. And trying to explain that to people, girl, that's a whole nother situation. But yeah, so my aunt wanted me to be a police. I wanted to be in the military. Like I thought that, I looked at my life, I was like, you know what, I don't have much going on. Like before I even decided to do to change over from the police academy to ROTC, it was just like, I didn't have anything, you know. Growing up in the hood, we didn't have nothing. My mother didn't raise me. My aunt raised us, and my aunt and my grandmother raised me and my 3 brothers on my mom's side. And so it was very, very tough for us growing up. We didn't have anything. We didn't have a mom. We didn't have a dad. And we was broke. We was struggling, you know what I'm saying? And it's always been like this. It's been like that for the longest time. But I always felt like I wanted to do more with my life. I just didn't know exactly how to get there. And I knew I wanted to go to college because I was...
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and address this real quick because it's bothering me as I edit this video. I know I have a booger hanging from my nose, y'all, and it's so giving, busted, disgusted, crusty. Y'all already know I was going to say something. Just wait, it's coming up. Push pause. Okay, now push play.
Ready to get up out my people's place. Like, girl, we get up out of here, okay? So yeah, I was young. Like when I graduated high school, I was like 17. Like I wasn't even legal yet, y'all. Like, I wasn't even an adult. But I just used to see people doing ROTC, and people used to talk about how you could do it in school, and like they used to shoot guns. So I've always had an infatuation with shooting guns. Like I have a gun thing. I don't know what it is. It's like I'm not one of those people that like, oh my God, we're gonna go hunting and stuff like that. No, I just used to really enjoy letting off steam. I love the smell of what it smells like in the gun range, the smoke, the feeling of when the gun, most people jump on that part, but I just really love that shit. Like it's just like, I don't know what it is, but it's just like I just love being like a G.I. Jane type of badass type of female, you know what I'm saying? Just real tough. Like I really like that. So it just really intrigued me, and I love a person in uniform, and I don't know what it was, but it just caught my attention. I just really wanted to do it. And like I said, they was talking about you could do it in school. They was saying how it would help you pay for college and stuff like that. And I didn't have any scholarships. I think I maybe had one scholarship. And then I almost had got a scholarship from this girls group that I was in high school. But they cheated me out of my scholarship. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But yeah, I really didn't have nothing going on. I was like, I needed to get away from home. And I just really felt like if I stay at home, I was going to be another statistic. And I had made it out of high school not being a statistic. When I mean say a statistic, like people was pregnant, girl. Like, baby, who? Pregnant where? Baby, I'm 17, have no kids, no ma'am. And I'm not. And I ain't. And baby, I'm 28 and I ain't had none yet. God is good, but I still want to have some kids. I'm ready to drop some down. But God is good. We're gonna keep that for another show, another time. But yeah, so my aunt didn't really understand that, and like we didn't know anything about the military. We didn't know anybody in the military. We knew nothing about it. It was like you're gonna go to war, you're gonna get killed, and that's it. So I ended up staying. I think I got out of the police academy my senior year finally, but I ended up not going into ROTC, and then I ended up just going off to school or whatever, going to college, and then I met my ex. Most of you who have been following me for the beginning, like if you are a day one ride or die, then you remember me and my ex on my YouTube channel. So that first started YouTube, it was like 2018. I was in school. I had just started UCF, and school wasn't really going that high. I was only there for I think like maybe a week or two, and they had messed up my paperwork. They lost my scholarships. Like it was bad. But I had started dating my ex in 2015. I met him when I moved to Orlando to go to college there. And when I met my ex was a military brat. So basically what military brat means is like his parents was in the military. I think his granddad, like he was a generation, like his family had generations of being in the military. So it was a family thing. But my ex was like a rebel. Like he was like, nah, I don't want to do it, whatever. And like meeting him was the first time I had even knew about that. His mother went into the military. She was in the ROTC, and she went into the Air Force right from high school, and she raised him, she got married, she spent her entire life practically in the Air Force. And when I met her, she's a beautiful woman, really sweet woman, and she inspired me to kind of do it basically because my ex was kind of going down this rough path with college. She was having a hard time with like as far as his grades go. My ex was super smart. And he was taking these like, I don't know, I think like algebra, geometry classes and stuff. And it was just not cutting it for him. And his mom was trying, you know what, if you fail this next semester, you going to the, you know what I'm saying, you going to the Air Force. Like, we're not doing this no more. And being that his mother spent her entire life in the military, in the Air Force, and then she met his dad and his stepfather in the military, so they came from a military background. So that's why I say when I say my ex was a military brat. And when she met me, and you know, me and him at that time, we had been dating for like I think maybe 2 or 3 years when we talked about the whole his mom wanting him to go into the military, and he didn't want to leave me by myself. And his mom convinced me that I should join. And I was like, no ma'am. Like, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. So, background story. I went off to college. I was 17. I went to college. I went to FAMU for the summer semester. Everything went well, but I failed. Or I didn't fail, but I almost failed my math class. And they told me I couldn't come back to school till I got my GPA up, whatever. Because I had went through this, like, academic probation period program. And I had to pass all my classes in order to get re-accepted for the fall. So the summer was like a trial for me. I didn't really get completely accepted into the school. And it was nothing really wrong with me. It was just I applied at the last minute. And I think at that time, I just really was like giving up on school. I didn't really care because I didn't want to go to FAMU. I didn't want to go to no black school. I wanted to go because, you know, that's where everybody was going to, like UCF and FSU. And these are talking about like predominantly white schools with the schools that was it. And I was like, oh, girl, I'm going over there because, baby, I got to make some money in life. Like, I got to be somebody. And I'm not going to go out here and be fast tail and be at these black schools. That's just not what I'm doing. At the time, I didn't know that. I didn't know how much history was in HBCUs. I didn't know how much honor and courage and how much beauty and how much black love and black creativity and black magic is created at HBCUs. I had no idea. You know, I didn't come from a family of, you know, too much knowledge in that aspect. I had no idea. And so I shied away from HBCUs, and unbeknownst to me, I put myself in a predicament where I shouldn't have. You know, HBCUs are so full of light, so full of color, and just beautiful. And there's so much comes out of there, so much art, so much passion, and so many famous and so many thriving people, doctors, lawyers, you know what I'm saying? Even culinary specialists and actresses, actors, rappers, you know, actresses. Like, so much comes from the HBCU, but I had no idea. When I decided to go to college, I was like young. I've done everything on my own. I had to fill out my college applications by myself. I had to learn how to do transcripts and FAFSA, and I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. My family tried, but we didn't really know about a lot of that stuff. My cousin had went to college, but it was just like we didn't know, you know what I'm saying? We didn't know. We came from the muck, we came from the dirt, and our family struggled a lot. And a lot of people didn't know that because they used to see us in nice clothes and stuff like that. We just was hustlers. We've been hustlers. Like, my family's always been hustlers, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna eat, we gonna look good, and that's on period. And yeah, so we didn't know, you know, we didn't know no better. And my grandmother had actually passed away my junior year, I think it was, of high school. And it was a really rough time for me, my family, everybody that knew her. It was a really, really hard time. And I struggled with her death. I was grieving I grieved for about 3 or 4 years, and I didn't realize it. You know, I was 17, I think 16, 17 when she got sick, and then she passed away. And I was the oldest of my siblings, and I had to step in and take care of them. In doing so, it was a lot of responsibility on me, and I missed my brothers. You know, me and my brothers were close. We grew up together. We slept in the same room. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we were close. So I was going through a lot mentally, physically, emotionally, and then I was gravitating this world. My aunt, just my uncle, they just dropped me off to school. Like, okay, girl, bye. Girl, when I got there, I was scared. Okay, I was like, it was giving ghetto. It was giving hood. I was scared, y'all. I was scared. My little 17-year-old innocent self. Okay. But yeah, so, you know, I wasn't focused. I didn't know about, you know, tutoring. It was just a lot of stuff I didn't know. And it was just like me, I feel like I did college wrong. Like, starting out, I feel like I did it the wrong way. I was just trying to get out of my people's house. I didn't know no better. I was in a rush to get gone. Okay, honey? And I feel like I went up there and I did what I tried. I did my best to, you know, but it was just a whole different world, whole different environment. So after my summer semester didn't work out, I came back home and I was like, dang, what am I gonna do? I gotta get going. And I had to try to figure out how I was gonna tell my aunt that I wasn't going back to school, because girl, that was a whole nother situation. So, you know, I remember I had enrolled into like the community college there, and I was trying to get back on my feet, trying to do the right thing. And when I was out there, they was doing like this seminar or whatever on the campus, and they have some people from the military and the army who come and talk to us on campus. And then a recruiter came and talked to us. And then I remember like my last few classes in high school, I also had a recruiter come and talk to me, but I didn't really know still. I was very, very just like, I feel like I've gravitated through the world for a long time, just like floating. I feel like, kind of in a sense, like I feel like I was just going through the motions for a while, and then I don't know where it was or when it was or what happened, girl, but I woke up. I grew up, I woke up, and that's just what it was. But granted, like I said, like I was young, I was a child practically, still navigating in the adult world. And I moved out when I was 18. I was on my own. I ain't know nothing, okay? But anyways, so I had went to the little seminar they had on campus, and I was about to sign myself up. You know, like at this time, I think I had turned 18 already. I got back and I turned 18. And I was gonna sign myself up, but I needed parental consent. Like, you need a parental consent. You have, if you wasn't 18 yet. I don't know if I was exactly 18 yet, if I was turning 18, but I think I remember I needed parental consent, I think. And then I had talked to my aunt about it, and we was trying to sign off on it, and she was like, no, I'm not signing off on that. And she's like, you go out there if you want to and get killed, you're not going. So that was the end of that. That was that. And then fast forward to, I think, maybe a year and a half later, when I turned 18, 19 years old. Yeah, it was my 19. I was 19. So, yeah. About a year and a half later, I went home for a year and a half. After about a year and a half later or whatever, I got into a real bad car accident and my car got totaled. I got a new car. I was working. Everything was going decent. After being home for a couple months, and I just decided I didn't want to do it. I made a lot of money and I work, put myself through school, and I was still failing my classes, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, why am I failing these classes? And I was just like, I don't know, like, it was just like being home was bothering me. It was such a distraction. I was like, if I don't leave here, I'm never going to be successful. I can't focus in this environment. And so 19, I quit my job. Well, I started working at another job, so I was working like 2 jobs. I quit my job, paid for my school semester that semester, and then I left and I moved to Central Florida, to Orlando. And I met my ex out there. Actually, we worked together at this burger joint. I met him there. We hit it off. Everything was well. Everything was good. Now, I didn't meet him right away. I messed around a little bit. I gravitated through this world, being myself and trying to figure it out. And made some little friends. They wasn't really great friends. But, yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to navigate life. And I met him. Me and my ex ended up falling in love. Everything was great. So we dated for about, I think, maybe 2-3 years. And then that's when his mother had that conversation with him, and then he had a conversation with me. So yeah, you know, I have to think about the military for a long time. This wasn't just like a spare of the moment thing. And then they told me what I needed to do, basically, and his stepdad took us to a recruiter's office, and we went to a recruiter's office by ourselves, and then we went to another one with his stepdad because we was having issues with the first one. It was hard, y'all. It was so hard trying to get in the Air Force because it was like I said, I came out of my family's house on my own. I had got into a car accident, like I said, really bad car accident. I had a concussion, a minor concussion. My car caught on fire. My car was total, and I got a new car. And I was paying for it, but during the transition in 2017, it was like one of the worst times of my life. And basically, I hit rock bottom in 2017. I think I want to say I was like 22, 23 years old, and I hit rock bottom, and I was trying to figure out what was I going to do with my life. You know, school, I had got my associate's degree, but school just seemed to I feel like for 3 years I was trying to do college, and it was just such a hard time. Let's see, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So yeah, like the last couple years of my life, I just feel like I was having such a hard time trying to do school, trying to do college. And it was just seemed like it was just a lot. And I just like, you know what? Like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And I just felt like I was just at capacity. Like I had my car payment I had to pay. I had tuition. I was already working 2 jobs. I was tired as heck, y'all. Like I was so tired putting myself 2-3 jobs. One point I did have 3 jobs. I would literally get off one job, go to the next, sleep in my car, take a nap. Like, I was tired, you guys. Like, oh my God, I was so tired. But I was doing what I had to do. And I was paying my bills. But it was just like I still felt short. Like, I still felt like I had nothing. And, like, I remember getting an eviction notice. I remember getting eviction notice. And at this time, I was completely on my own. Like, I didn't have no family help really at this time. It was me and my ex at the time, or my boyfriend at the time, which is my ex now. Him and his family was trying to help me. Like, I was struggling, y'all. And I got an eviction notice, and I had to make a big decision. Do I move out, or do I stay and get evicted? What I need to do? Well, being that I didn't get my scholarship from UCF, it put me in a financial bind. So the money that I was supposed to get from FAFSA and everything, which was a lot of money, I think it was like $20,000 or something like that I was supposed to get. And I ended up not getting that money. I was hurt, you guys. Like, I remember just like feeling like I had nothing. I was going to be nothing. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. And my ex is a very, very tough individual. Like, he was tough on me. And
so I did mean tough in a good way here.
I didn't realize it until now, just looking back. But I remember he had a very difficult conversation with me. Like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do if you drop out of school? Because I couldn't afford it. I was like, I can't afford college. I'm dropping out. I can't afford rent. I have to move out, and I got my car payment, I got insurance. Like, I had so much on my plate, and then, like, it was just so much. So I remember he asked me, what are you going to do? And he yelled at me, and like, I was in the car, I was like, I don't know. And I just started crying, and then he helped me pack my place up, and I moved in with him for a couple months. and in a couple months turned into a year, and I ended up completely dropping out of school, and I was just working, and I remember it so vividly because during my freshman year at or my junior year, I guess it would be, because I had already got my associate's degree, I decided I wanted to do YouTube because I was in a digital media field. That was my major, and it still is my major. That in legal law, going to school to be a paralegal. And I was just like, this YouTube thing kind of fun. And I came across YouTube because when I first had started going natural, like I think maybe 3 years before that, my junior year of high school, I cut all my hair off. And I didn't know what to do with my natural hair. And I talked about that a little bit in my last video. If you go watch it. And I talked about like how I came to YouTube in the first place when I discovered YouTube. So I'm not going to get into that right now. We're just talking about the military in the Navy. But yeah, so that's how I came to YouTube originally. And then just after watching the videos and doing it, but originally I was going to do a couples channel with me and my ex. That's what we were trying to do. So I was saying that earlier, but I had to stop to check the camera. But if you've been around for a while, if you are a day one OG, is Mookie Mook fan, Rich World fan, then you know that my channel originally was actually supposed to be a couples channel with my ex. Him and I think we did like maybe 3 videos together. And then I deleted everything, I took it down. But I think we have officially had, I think, 3 or 4 videos. And my ex is actually how I also started doing music too, because he did music, that was his thing. And then he had asked me to record one time on a track for him, I don't know. Because I used to sing a lot, but I was in the chorus growing up, I was in the choir, and I was in the chorus. So I went to school professionally to learn how to sing in the chorus, and I did music and all of that stuff. Yeah, so I went to schools of arts and stuff like that. Anyway, so that was my shabam. And so fast forward, my ex got into the Air Force. I'm just trying to make this like not too much of a long video. My ex ended up getting into the Air Force, and I didn't get in. I had a lot of debt. I think I had to pay my tuition. I had to pay UCF back. So I think it ended up being like $20,000. Irony of the situation is I owed them $20,000, but $20,000 they were supposed to give me from my FAFSA. And my FAFSA ended up actually approving it, but there was like this whole scam thing that went down during that time at UCF. They were under investigation for a financial aid department. So somehow in the midst of all that stuff, I never got my money, and not only did I owe them for my tuition, but they also owed me. And I tried to fight it. I was crying. I was going through it. I tried to fight it. Like, I tried to fight the case. I couldn't afford to get a lawyer. My ex's dad was telling me to get a lawyer. I couldn't do it. So I just gave up, and I ended up paying them the money. And in doing so, I had to go on payment plans and stuff like that. And it affected my credit. So I've been trying to rebuild my credit for so long. But, yeah. It was just bad. All in all, it was bad. Like I said, I felt like I know I hit rock bottom. It was bad. So not only did I drop out of college, not only was I homeless, not only was I struggling really bad, I was in hella debt. Like, I was in debt up to my eyes. And I'm the type of person, I've never taken out like a student loan or nothing like that. So I've always paid my bills up front, out of pocket. I don't believe in credit cards, none of that stuff. Like, and granted, I have had a few credit cards in the past, but yeah, like I started life super young. Like I said, I was 17 when I went to college originally, and then I moved out at like 18, 19 years old. I got my first car at 18 by myself. Like, I have literally like raised and carried myself for so long, you guys. So when I hit 2017 and I hit rock bottom, it was the hardest time for me. And it's crazy because I can sit on camera now and actually talk.
Okay guys, so I know this video is really long, so I try to just do a brief intermission. I want to just make sure that you guys have hydrated properly and that you guys are doing fine, that you guys are still rolling with your girl on this train. Okay, we got about 30 more minutes to push through. Okay, breathe, stretch, shake it, let it go. Breathe, stretch, shake it, let it go. In and out, use the restroom, and we're back. Okay, let's go.
So the camera cut off. I gotta set my little alarm. I be forgetting to set it because it only records to like 12 minutes and then it stops. And why y'all ain't tell me I had a book in my load? But anyways, so yeah, it was a really hard time for me, and that was what I was going through. And then all of a sudden 2020 rolls around and COVID hits, and COVID's a thing. So I'm in the process of rebuilding my life at this point. So now I've been out of school at this point for I think maybe a year or 2 years. Yeah, I think at this point I was out of college now. I had stopped doing school for I think like 2 years. And my ex at this time, he was already in the Air Force. He had gone through boot camp and stuff. And during the time of him leaving, going through all his stuff, boot camp, all that, I was still trying to get in. I was still actively working with a recruiter. And I think 2020, I think it was maybe like February or March, I decided to say, I'm done with the Air Force because their recruiters was trash and they never got back to me. I think this dude went to Guam or something. He went to the DR. The recruiter went to the DR, y'all, and we were supposed to have a meeting. I was supposed to be going to MEPS. He was supposed to sign my paperwork and I'm gonna be done. Baby, he went to the DR and ghosted me, and I ain't heard from him since. Like, it was just, the recruiter was just giving me a hard time, and it was black, y'all. I think I only met one white one, and that white guy, he was real sweet. He was the one who helped my ex. Everybody else was black. Getro. So after he ghosted me, I was like, man, I need to go. At this point, I'm like, I need to get gone, because I had moved back home, but I didn't move at like my original like house. I moved to like a friend of the family's, I think, and either my uncle, one of my uncle's wives, and a cousin. I was just moving. I was in between places, but I was still homeless. And just the feeling of like being broke and having nothing and being homeless, don't know what I'm gonna do, how am I gonna live. I was just like, you know what? I don't know how I feel about this military thing. My ex seemed to be enjoying it. It was kind of weird on our relationship, but we were already having our trials and tribulations before it even happened. But I don't know, it was just so much like I was going through, y'all. Like, it was days where I was just like, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I don't, like I said, I'm trying not to get too deep into this video, and I'm already running long. But I didn't have a choice. I felt like I didn't have a choice. I had nothing else to do. I had nothing else. And I felt like if I stayed home in that environment, working and rebuilding, I was going to jail. Like, I had already gotten, I think, maybe into like 2 fights. And, well, I'm sorry. I didn't even get into a fight. As a matter of fact, now I remember, yeah, I never even fought those females. But police was called twice. And we're going to leave it there. Because your girl used to get a little ratchet. Not a little, and not used to. Yeah. We not gonna talk about this in this video, but I didn't get into a fight. I almost got into one fight. The other one, the girls were scared. They didn't want to fight, but they did call the police. Police was called twice. One of the girls, it wasn't a fight. I reached inside her car and was trying to pull her out of the car. I think I'm gonna just edit that out because I don't think we should be talking about that on this military video. But anyways, yeah, I almost got into a few altercations when I moved back home, and I just like, I need to get up out of here. Like, I was going down a very dark path, a very dark way, and I probably would have ended up in jail if I would have stayed home. So I think the next day or next couple of days passed, and after he ghosted me, I went to a Navy recruiter and went in there, and they told me a little bit about the Navy. I didn't know nothing about no jobs. I didn't know nothing about no water. I didn't know nothing about the Navy, okay? But baby, I want y'all to know that recruiter had me in and out. I was going in a month. A month later, she had me done. I had my MEPS done. I had everything done. I retook the ASVAB. That was another thing. Like, I had to take the ASVAB so many times, y'all. And it wasn't even that I was failing it. I was passing it. It's just I needed a higher score for them to be like, okay, we'll give you a waiver, whatever. You good to go. But see, the difference between the Air Force and the Navy is hurting bad for people. The Navy is hurting bad for people. The Air Force, on the other hand, a lot of people who join the Navy, a lot of people join the Air Force. A lot of people talk about the Air Force in a great way. And I have, from the experience, I feel like it depends on you. It depends on what you want in life and what you're trying to do. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Air Force, Navy, Marines, whatever branch you decide to join, Army, in some type of way, they're all the same. You all do a service, you put on a uniform, you are no longer whoever you are with your first name. You are your last name, and that's who you are. You have to follow rules, the government owns you, you are United States military, that's who you are. So every branch is going to be like that. Now, it depends on if you decide to do enlisted or non-enlisted, which is reserve. So when I first decided that I was going to do it, I really wanted to go back to school. I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this military thing, but I want it to go back to it because the benefits are really great. So when I was going through the process, the they told me about going to school, and like they never said that you was gonna make a lot of money, but they said about the benefits, healthcare, dental, vision, and I didn't have none of that. Like, obviously, I already told you I was going through, I was at my lowest point in life. I was homeless, but not only that, my mouth started to deteriorate. If you remember, if you are a day one fan of It's Mookie Moo and me and my music, my first one was called Takeout. And my first release, I wrote that before I joined the Navy. Literally, I think like that year that I moved back home, I met some friends, and they was the ones who got me into writing music and really like pushing toward like that. I was like, girl, no, I ain't doing this. But we were just in a car one time. I think it was some challenge going around, some New York challenge. I can't even remember, but he was like, oh, you should do it, whatever, whatever. And I did it. I rapped it, I spit it, and it was like, oh, that's going crazy. It's like, you need to really do this music thing. We started looking for studios, and yeah, and I don't know, I wrote Takeout. And in Takeout, I talked about how, like, I was homeless, I was broke, and my teeth were so bad, literally, I needed a dentist. My lips started to deteriorate on the outside, so they was, like, real dark, and it was just, like, peeling and, like, just darkening, and it was dry, and my mouth started to deteriorate. And most of you guys know that I have nice teeth, and people think I got work done, but I really didn't get any work other than deep cleanings and stuff like that. I had to do, when I first joined the Navy, I had to do deep cleanings every 3 months, 3 to 6 months, because my mouth was that bad from bacteria and not having a dentist and not getting my regular cleanings on a annually basis. So yeah, I was really broke. I had stains, my teeth was yellow, it looked bad. So now people see like, oh my God, you have really nice teeth, you have a nice smile, but I've always had a nice smile. The Navy has really helped me restructure my life, and I'm really grateful. And these are the reasons why you should join the Navy. If you're going through a rough time, you're young, whether you don't know if you want to go to college or you want to work for the rest of life, you don't really know what you want to do, and your family was a little bit unfortunate like mine. Now, you don't have to necessarily be struggling to join the military, but I'm going to tell you right now that joining the military, whether you go reservist or active duty, it really is a great thing for you. You can use it as a stepping stone to try to figure out what you want to do with yourself, who you want to become. There's so many different jobs, and there's so many different things you can even do in the military. Whether, like I said, whatever branch you decide, that's what you got to figure out for yourself. I can tell you a little bit of the differences later, but the benefits, you guys, like, I really got the chance to rebuild my entire life joining the military, joining the Navy. Like, they teach you everything, financial responsibility, they teach you financial importance, they teach you how to budget, how to save. Like, it literally is practically like a handheld, like they hold your hand. And you know what I'm saying, like, there's so much that I didn't know. I remember when I rented my first apartment, like officially by myself, I didn't know a lot of stuff. I didn't know how to even fill out a renter application and the deposits and fees and things like that. I didn't know any of that stuff, and I learned all of that from the Navy. You can buy a house, you can buy your car. Like, it really literally will position you to be in that place, but you have to work hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, it is, there was so many times where I didn't think I was gonna make it. Like, it really can really mentally like break you down, like, because it changes you in a sense. It changes you for the better or for worse, it depends on you. But you got to think about, this is still the military, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's supposed to change. You're supposed to restructure. You're supposed to learn, breathe, walk, talk like a soldier. That's just what it is. And I had a hard time doing that my first few years, and I was older. Like, I came in looking at boot camp, I'm like, these girls is like 17, 18, baby, I'm grown for real. Like, I joined, I was like, what? I think I turned 25 or 26 in boot camp. And I already had been making money, so I was making good money. You know what I'm saying? I'm making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month from, my income coming in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what y'all can do for me? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already making money. Y'all can't promise me no money. Now, if I was you, I would negotiate, because this is a contract. A lot of people mess up because they don't negotiate. I got an enlistment bonus. I negotiated the fact that I had my associate's degree. I was a little bit older. But I also messed up because I didn't know that I should have negotiated even further. Instead of going enlisted route, I should have went the officer route. No doubt about it, I should have been an officer, because it's just so much more on the officer, like commissioning. It's a whole nother thing. But yeah, so the benefits as far as like healthcare, dental, vision, like the VA loans and things like that, and even the car loans. Like literally, my car, when I got my Jeep, I think my percentage was like, I think 8% or something. Like it was super super low. But yeah, and my Jeep was only like 20 something $1,000. So, and I'm grateful. Like, you know, I was driving a 2-door Kia with no AC before I joined the Navy. Baby, I used to have a little fan in my car. Oh, okay, thank you. I had no radio, and I think I got my radio fixed, but I had like one speaker. I was girl, who? But look at your girl. But yeah, like, you know, there's just so many great benefits to somebody young trying to figure out life. And like I said, if you don't know if you want to go to college or not. Now, if you do decide that you want to go to college, now, like I said just 2 seconds ago, that I should have did the commissioning route. There are officers in the Navy, but those are like enlisted officers, like petty officers like that. That's a whole different thing. So that's enlisted. That's actually active duty. Enlisted, you work every single day, 365, 7 days a week. You don't have, you know what I'm saying, like that's it. You got to kind of look at active duty as a full-time job. And then you have reservist, which is like part-time. And then you have commissioned officers, who basically, commissioned officers are officers who go back to boot camp and they do a commissioning. Basically, they do a service to the military. So they're not enlisted. They service the military. Now, they still, some officers who commission, they still wear a uniform. Officers still wear a uniform and things like that, because like I said, they're still a part of the military sector. They're just doing a service. It's kind of like when you think about like a contractor, like you work for this company but not directly like that. But officers are like the cream of the crop. They get treated real nice, they make more money, and they have different rules and regulations from us. And that's why I said at the beginning of this that I felt like I started out as a peasant, because you kind of are. You do a lot of peasantry stuff. That's just what it is. Stuff that you don't want to do. But you work your way up in the ranks, and you know what I'm saying. Sometimes it takes a long time. With the military, the way that it's structured throughout every single branch, from my understanding, is that promotion is through a test or some type of board or whatever. It's basically like how they feel about your performance and stuff like that. So most of it is like evaluations and stuff like that. But yeah, it can be what you make it. But I recommend people, you know what I'm saying, if you don't know what you're gonna do and you can't afford college or whatever, or you don't want to go to college, I think military, any branch, is a good stepping stone. You'll come out of the military young. Like, I know people who joined right after high school, 18 years old, some people 18, 19 years old, 21 years old now, and they have a little rank, they make a little money. I know this guy, he's what, 20 years old. He made second at 19. He came in right after high school. He's 20 years old driving a Range Rover. Good credit, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Like, you can literally have and be anybody you want to be in this life. But don't be like me and do it the hard way. I wish I would have joined right after high school. I say that to everybody because I'm 28 years old now. I'm getting out, and it's like I'm transitioning my life to be an adult, or not an adult, but to be like a different person. And I don't even know how I feel about it. I feel like I'm coming out and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm adulting, life is good, but it's like, I feel like I'm in a transitioning period. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally coming out of my 20s, and it's a big deal. Had I joined right after high school, I could have came in right after high school, whether I did reservist or active duty. I would have had school, college paid for. I would have had healthcare benefits. I didn't have to struggle as much as I did. You know what I'm saying? If I would have came right out of high school, I went through almost 3-4 years of struggling for no reason. So that's kind of how I look at it. Is like, the earlier you do it, the better for you, because you can try it out, see if you like it or you don't like it. Minimum for active duty contracts is, I think, 3 years, and that's for sea duty or shore duty. 2 to 3 years or whatever. And even with reservists, the minimum is 2 years. You can try it out, see if you like it, see if you don't like it. Now, some people will be frowning upon you, like, oh, you should treat it as like a trial and error. But that's just kind of what it is. I feel like life is about pursuit, trying things out, seeing what you like, see what you don't like. So, Talked about healthcare. Healthcare is covered. You don't pay for anything. You see my teeth? Yes, honey. I don't pay for anything out of pocket. Y'all, I haven't paid for a doctor's appointment. I haven't paid for medicine. I haven't paid for surgery. I had stomach surgery. And that's another thing too. Like, the healthcare that they provide, people kind of like throw shade about it, like, oh, it's not good, but I think it's really great health insurance. To me personally, like I said, I haven't came out of pocket for nothing. And I used to be paying out of pocket for doctor's appointments and stuff like that. And they have helped me with my anemia. I had stomach surgery. They covered it. I didn't have to pay for anything. What else? My glasses, all my glasses that y'all be seeing for these last 4 years, some of them are free. Some of them I pay for, but the prescription and everything is covered. Glasses are covered. You get 2 or 3 pairs every 2 years or so for free. They don't cover contacts. That's the only thing. But when I tell you I don't have to pay out of pocket for nothing, I don't come out a dime for anything. And that is such a great benefit, especially for somebody who's been a part of the health market and trying to do insurance. Girl, that's a whole nother thing. So for college benefits is a little bit different. College benefits is a little bit different. So for college, if you join and you go active duty, so you do have to serve a certain amount of time to get tuition assistance for them to basically pay for your schooling. Now, once you do a certain amount of time, it used to be 2 years and then it changed to 3 years. And they probably gonna keep changing it, honestly, because the military has really realized the game. They realize that people come in and use it as a stepping stone, and they're not benefiting in the long run from it. They're trying to keep more people in, but more people are getting the benefits and getting out. Hence, that's what I did. But that was already my plan from the beginning. I knew that I didn't want to be in this for 20 years. Granted, like I said, if I would have started when I was like right after high school, I might have did like maybe 8 years. But the whole 20 years enlisted, no, like you guys just don't understand. Like, I think it's gonna be hard for me to explain it, but I'll explain it in another video. But when I explain it to you, no. But I am getting out the Navy. I am getting out of enlisted. I am retiring enlisted 4 years. Yes, thank you. In a month or two. So I'm super excited about that. My experience so far, it's just been really shaky, and I've been trying to find the right way how to express certain things, because there is also good conduct in law orders and stuff like that. And the military can try to find a way to use anything against you. That's just what it is. You sign contracts, they own you, they have their own rules, their own regulations. It's like a Bible for them. But every branch is different. The Navy has something called the UCMJ, which was basically like the criminal justice book for the Navy, rules and regulations, and it's a whole other thing. I have my reasons, but I think that, like I said, all in all, it's a great thing. I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad I experienced it. I'm glad that I did it. I don't regret it. I have enjoyed a lot of it. A lot of it I didn't enjoy. I met some amazing people. Like, you guys were going to meet people. From the day you sign that paper, you go to MEPS or whatever, like, from the day you decide to do it, you're going to meet people. You're going to meet people to the left. You're going to meet people to the right. Honey, relationships, all that stuff, girl, go ahead and break up with your man now. Guys, go ahead and break up with your girl now. Because I'm going to just let y'all know, joining the military, at least for me, from my experience, it's like going to college for a lot of people. A lot of people who didn't go to college, this is their college. Starting out, coming in, you traveling, you getting paid, you drinking, you meeting all types of people, you having fun, house parties. Like, if you have experienced college, house parties, and going out, that's literally what the military is. That's literally what the military is when you're not working. Like, when you off, you have days off, oh yeah, we be going in. We can turn up. And I don't know if you ever heard it or not, but people say, I drink like a sailor. Oh, in the Navy, they be drinking. We can drink. But you have a good time. Like, you really do truly have a good time. You have some great experiences. You make some really life memories. And I'm so grateful just looking back and thinking about all the stuff I've done. Going back to college, so you have the option to take courses inside while you're enlisted. Now, it is a little bit more difficult, or a lot difficult. Some people can get it done. I couldn't get it done. It was very hard. Time zones is different. Schools is different. colleges be wanting you to have all this stuff, even if you're not going to be going to class in class, even if you go online. Sometimes they want you to have vaccinations and stuff. Now granted, in the military you get all of that. They make sure you're vaccinated from like head to toe, knees in and out. But yeah, like it was very hard for me to get back into school, trying to re-enroll, trying to keep up with the time zones. Even now, like I'm still trying to get my classes scheduled for the summer, I think, or for the fall. And the time zone now, even all the way from here to Florida, is crazy. So it is a little bit difficult. Plus, but plus on top of that, you have to be approved. When you're enlisted, you have to be approved to go to school. Being enlisted, they want to know every single detail of your life. That's just what it is. Like, they want to know where you at, where you live at, what's your phone number, who you having sex with, like all of that. Like, they want to know every single detail. Again, your life is no longer yours. They own you. So yeah, you have to get approved to go to school, and it's up to whoever your leadership is, whether they like you, whatever. That's just what it is. There's supposed to be like some type of like criteria in years of service, how long you've been in, and how much of your job you've completed, all this stuff. But to me, I feel like it was too difficult to deal with, and they kept changing the requirements from 2 years to 3 years, and then you have to have a certain amount of time left on your contract. So when they changed it to 3 years, I hit 3 years, so I was eligible, then I didn't have enough time on my contract, so I may be ineligible. So sadly, I couldn't use my 2 EA. But if you decide to do on the opposite end, which is what I'm doing, is to use your benefits outside of active duty, you still get school paid for. It's called the GI Bill or the Montgomery Bill. Basically it's set up to be proctored as while you are taking classes in class, they pay you to go to school. Basically, that's what it is. It's called Basic Housing Allowance for the GI Bill. You get sometimes they'll reimburse your tuition, like whatever you pay for your tuition purposes, you can get that reimbursed. Also, you guarantee BAH for your GI Bill, and BAH is Basic Housing Allowance. And what that is, most people use it for is to pay rent, pay mortgage or whatever. Now, if you want to just use it as some money to pocket or some extra comeback, whatever, it's your money. But that's what I'm doing. It is a really great benefit in the military because, girl, I could have used BAH back then and there, okay? School is probably, I think, one of the biggest, the best benefits that the military does offer. Now, every branch is different with the criteria, so I'm just speaking off of a Navy experiences. So we talked about healthcare, we talked about school, we talked about adulting, because that's a benefit too. Financial services and stuff. They also do a lot of, they're really big on financials. So if you ever see somebody that say, oh, I'm struggling, I don't know what I'm going to do in the military, or the veterans that get out and don't know what to do, that's because they didn't utilize their benefits. That's just the truth. Either they got in trouble somewhere and they couldn't utilize them, or they got out and said fuck it and didn't utilize it, which is crazy because, baby, you best believe all these years I put in, oh, okay. All the stuff I've been through, oh, okay. But, yeah. Utilizing your benefits is a huge thing, and people wait till the last minute. People say, forget it, I don't care, I just want to be done with this. Like, so many people lose out on so many opportunities, and it sucks, but I took advantage. They do have this program where they're partnered with it's called Navy Marine Corps Society. They partner with the Marines. The Navy does partner with Marine a lot. And this is like a financial institution. It is, I think, is a non-profit organization, and basically they have loans set up for you. It's set up directly for active duty people, and I think also reservists might have an opportunity to touch it, but I know for sure for active duty enlisted military members, for the Navy and for the Marines, and you can take out a loan. You don't have to run your credit or anything like that. You tell them how much you need. Sometimes you have to tell them what it's for, show a bill or whatever. Sometimes it's not the case, but I think you get up to 4 of those in your career. And it started out I think at like $200-300, and now it's all the way up to $1,000. And that's money. Basically, you create an allotment, and that's $1,000 up front, girl, and you just have to pay them their money back. So that's another benefit. I've seen them do stuff with shelters. I've seen them do stuff with like what's it called, Red Society, however you say that. But there's just so many good benefits. Like traveling is the next benefit I'm going to get to. So obviously it's like traveling for free. Now granted, traveling sometimes does suck because it's like you basically going to do your job in another country, and that was a downside. I didn't think that was going to bother me. But traveling, we're going to get into that. Traveling overseas. But traveling basically is included in your job in the military. You're traveling all the time. Like, it's constantly moving, constantly changing. You can be here one day, and next month you can be in a whole nother state. That's just how it is. And if they need you over there, you're going over there, depending on your orders. But traveling is a thing. Like, you travel all the time. So have your backpack and your suitcase on go, honey. But if you want to travel, if you're young, you don't have the money, you're trying to figure out life, join the military. Travel, live your best life. I have been to Paris, I have been to Italy, I have been to Asia, I have been to South Korea, I have been to Hawaii, I have been to, where else did I go? I can't even remember. I've been to the Philippines. Where else have I gone internationally? I think I went to the UK, or I almost went to the UK. But I've been to a lot of places so far. And there's more places. I almost went to Bahrain, but then they changed my orders. I almost went to Bali because Bali is next to Bahrain. I've been to Chicago, in-state travel, obviously. Chicago. I've been to California, San Diego, to be exact. Almost been to Virginia, but Virginia's a big thing. Jacksonville's a big thing. Pensacola, Florida. We stopped in Germany. We stopped in Iceland, but we didn't get out to explore it. I've been to New Hampshire before. It's just a lot of places you can go and really enjoy. If you want to move away from home, you want to start over. The Navy does get stationed at a decent amount of places. For active duty purposes, we do get in San Diego, California, throughout California. Washington State is where I am, throughout Washington State. I know the Air Force is out there too, and the Army is out there too. Florida, Jacksonville is one of the popular places in Florida. Key West, Florida, Mayport. We do have places, I think, in Texas, close to Houston, Texas, but I don't know if that's a rate specific thing. We do have Tennessee, and we got, what else we got? What are those places that we be getting stationed? But there's so many ways, like, because they have full-time support, reservists, and active duty. So it just depends on what orders you get and how you decide to do your service. But you possibly can go anywhere in the world. Now, it's not necessarily going to be guaranteed, but you can always try to suggest or to ask for it. But yeah, the traveling is there. So if you like to travel, you want to get started on your travel life, and even if it's not work related, like the lifestyle funds you enough. Literally, it affords you enough. I'm gonna tell y'all that. Like, we don't make a lot of money, we ain't rich. I don't know, people think that. It's just so many benefits. Like, you get a lot of discounts. They have a American Forces travel website, and basically your flights, your hotels, ticket, concerts, cruise ships, all of that stuff is on there for discounts. And baby, when I tell you I've stayed at some nice places, hunty, okay? Make sure y'all check out my website when that drops so y'all can see some of the places I've stayed at. But yes, like, discounts. When you travel, when you go to the airport, you get TSA pre-check me, please, thank you. Okay, TSA pre-check. Sometimes your flight, they'll put you into first class sometimes. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, it's just really, it's a lot of benefits, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know why people get on these cameras and get on these YouTube channels and act like that the military didn't get them where they at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that people act like that, because girl, the military put you on, okay, sis? The Navy put you on. Don't act like that. So let's just cut the crap, okay? Because that's brand new Benz that you driving. They afforded you that. Thank you. But yeah, people be acting real stink, like, oh, I hate it. And I'm not gonna lie, I get it. Like, I've talked my trash about it. But when you really sit down and really think about it, when you look back, you be like, you know what? Like, I wouldn't be half of the person I am today if it wasn't for me joining the Navy. And I can honestly, truly say that I am so grateful for this experience. God is so good. And God has kept me and carried me through this. And when I tell y'all, I've been able to afford so much more. And I'm not even, like I said, I'm not rich. I'm not even nowhere where I want to be. But they gave me a start in life. They gave me a chance to redefine myself, to get back on my feet, to rebuild myself. And I am so grateful. So many people join the military, they become entrepreneurs, they invest their money, they do it right. Kind of like what I'm doing, or not kind of, but what I'm doing. You know, it's a lot of people that do that. A lot of people join, go into YouTube and TikTok and social media, and a lot of people go into real estate. A lot of people, because of their loans, the loans are so good, and you know, if you got good credit, they'll approve anything. You just gotta make sure you do what you gotta do. But it's so many great benefits, and don't let nobody tell you, oh, don't do it, because there's nobody that told me to join the military except for my ex's mom. Nobody. Every single person that I know, my family, my friends, girl, you're gonna make a mistake, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. That's what everybody kept saying to me. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But I did it. I wanted to get the experience for myself, and I just feel like everybody's experience is different. But I will say majority, the things that I can say that are beneficial is a standard. And not only that, but sometimes you meet really great people, and it's very family oriented. The morale is very, very great. And I've met some of the most amazing people in the military, and networking is such a huge benefit. Like, I've met celebrities. I've seen Sierra. I've seen what's the man? Oh, Too Short. I'm going to see 21 Savage this weekend at a concert, though. That's different. But, or not this weekend, but a few weekends. Who else I met? I think I met a football player or something, because like they partner, the military partners with a lot of people. So USAA is partnered with, I think, the NFL. So I got to go to Seattle Seahawks game. I got tickets I ain't have to pay for, VIP seats. They fed us VIP in the press box. It was nice. I think also too now somebody else is part of the military, but I don't know like what is it, but they're partnered with the NBA. So sometimes you'll be seeing like the military at like, you know, doing like the Super Bowl and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all already set up. And then most people who come in, they just go in uniform and stuff like that. Free tickets to the game and nice seats and stuff. Now, I didn't have to do anything in uniform. It was just kind of like an activity for us. But there's so much fun stuff that we have done, y'all. Like, I can't even begin to even think about the stuff that I've done because of the Navy. But the Navy has really afforded me the lifestyle that I live now. And I am so grateful for that. And God is so good. And I just think that if you don't know what you want to do in life, or you're struggling, you're trying to figure it out, paying bills, like, yes, it's a big sacrifice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it is. But all in all, I am grateful. I am so grateful for this experience. I am so grateful for this opportunity. I can't think of anything else that I should tell y'all, because there's so much more stuff. If I think of anything else, I'll come back on this camera and tell y'all. But I think I'm giving y'all maybe the top 10 benefits. So it said tuition or school. I said stability, basically. You will have a paycheck. You can't get fired. They can't fire you. Now, they can take some money away, but most of the time they add it to you. We do get like a annual bonus, which basically is our uniform allowance. But stability, financial stability, tuition. And then I talked about travel. I talked about healthcare benefits. I talked about networking. I talked about like fun activities and stuff, football games, basketball games. All those things are included in MWR events, which is basically like the military's like recreational foundation. And then like also is the USO, another foundation for fun. We have concerts and stuff like that. Like it's just a lot. The American Forces travel, I talked about the benefits of that. The discounts and stuff is really, really good. We have our own grocery stores, our own like Walmarts, and our own like, I don't know, Winn-Dixie or Publix or whatever you shop at for grocery stores. We have those. We literally have our own world. Like, we don't have to go outside of the gates of the base for anything. Like, you literally can travel, like literally drive around the base and you have everything. There's restaurants on base. Most of the bases have a restaurant. There's gas stations. There's car washes now. There's gaming. Like, some bases have like a gaming setup if you're a gamer, and they do gaming competitions and you get paid $500 to $1,000. Yeah. PlayStation and Xbox, GameCube, I have, what is it called? I have one of these. Switch. Like, yes, that's a military thing. There's a lot of gamers in the military, y'all. Because it's like sometimes you don't have nothing to do and you be at work in uniform with no work to do, so you play your game. That's a big thing, I think, in the military is gaming. If you're a gamer, it's a big thing in the world. And don't let people tell you that you can't make money being a gamer, because, baby, these people in the military, oh, they coming up $5,000, okay? I'm telling y'all, like, the networking is crazy. I'm telling y'all, the networking is crazy. You can literally do anything you want to. If you serve this country, do it the right way, figure it out. I don't know. But so many people come in and they don't know how to utilize their finances. They don't know how to invest. They just be a lost cause. But I know some people who've been in the military now for 15 plus years. I know 2 senior chiefs that was in for like 20 something years, and I know a lieutenant commander. I think she's a commander now. She's been in for I think like 26 years. This lady has traveled through around the world, up and down. She's black. She takes care of her mother. Her mother has traveled because of her. Baby, she live in a mansion. Bread, money, okay? People invest in real estate, because usually how people get started into real estate is they buy a house wherever they are. They buy a house or even a condo. People buy, it doesn't even really have to be real estate, like regular real estate, like houses and stuff like that. You can do commercial real estate. Now, commercial real estate is a little bit trickier, but people start buying houses. They get into Airbnbs, and basically when they move, they rent out that house to another sailor or somebody else in the military, pay them to stay there, or even a civilian person or whatever. It don't have to be in the military, but somebody pay their rent, and they go over there and they buy another house. And that's how people get into real estate. You want to get into real estate, you're an entrepreneur, you want to travel, you want to go back to school, you need some stability, you need health care, life insurance, dental, vision, travel again, you got some kids. Oh, they love kids, they love family, they love husbands, they love wives. But yeah, so these are the things that I have experienced. These are the things that I've enjoyed. And these are the reasons why I think that you should join the Navy. You should join the Air Force or the military or whatever. Now, I don't know too much about other branches, but I know in the Navy, those are the things that we are afforded, that we are appreciated. And yeah, so that's all I have for y'all today. I know this video is going to be probably a little bit longer, but I'm going to wrap it up right now. It's your girl. If you guys have any questions about me being active duty, or any questions about my rate, you can always find those in my playlist. I have also tagged the link for you guys. You can always ask me like in the comments or DM me. Follow me on social media, all of my socials. My Instagram is champagnerich2_. My TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff is still It's Mookie Moo. I'm going to be changing everything. I'm going through changing my name, and it's just been so frustrating working with these folks. But yeah, you can find me on the socials. Get at your girl. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, likes, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.